Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday night webinar. Sorry, we've just been having a bit of a chat offline, but yeah, no, we're gonna just probably gonna just keep this one short because not a lot's been happening in the crypto space. It's just pretty much of the same stuff happening, and it's just like a lot of noise, but not really a lot that's that positive. But yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that's happening outside the world, outside our crypto space, and then it's kind of having a flowing on effect. The war, the coming up to elections with Biden, um, and just all the stuff that you see on social media, and with Trump. Somewhere I saw he was getting arrested or something, or who knows. But you read all this stuff, and then you think there's so much screwed up stuff that's happening in the crypto, like in the normal world. It's like more or less, it's going to have a flow-on effect with us, and it pretty much does, because that you hear about one thing, right, and then it's like the banks, right? Last couple of weeks is like it was all about the banks going down, so they follow this narrative, and then so they all like they all look at the banks. Let's all look at the banks for a week. They all get together and banks, banks, banks. And then something else. Then let's all crack it down a bit. And then it's like the flavor of the week or flavor of the month, and then they're on to something else. So I think it's like that. And a lot of this stuff is noise. So we've just got to um, look at crypto from a 30,000 foot in the air, look at down, or look at what's actually really happening, what's important, and just focus on that, because there's so much noise out there that if you try to follow every single thing that's happening, you're just going to do your head in. I mean, there's YouTube channels that make a full career about this, that every time there's something, they pump out a video. And honestly, I don't know how they do it. It's just exhausting, because I particularly don't really care about what happens on a daily basis. It's like watching the news, or it's like watching CNN. It's like, do I really care that Joe Blow went into the supermarket and then fell over, and then is now suing the state county of whatever? Who cares? And this is what happens in crypto. It's the same shit. So I don't really care about who's getting sued or who said what. Apparently, there's like these influencers now that are getting sued. That's in the news with what happened with FTX, and then now influencers face $1 billion lawsuit of unregistered securities promo with Binance, and then just one thing after another, guys. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of this stuff is just noise, and although it does have an effect, like all this stuff that you hear with the US and China, and that's kind of like have a long-term effect, like could there be a war? Yes, there could be a war between China and the US if over Taiwan, or the stuff that you're hearing about the US dollar now, and so all this stuff does come into account. But honestly, you can't. I just don't have the time to really worry about it. Let the guys that have the big bucks, that get paid the big bucks to keep the world in one piece and save the world, they can handle that sort of stuff. That's what I reckon. So I just try to focus on my thing that I've got, pretty much what I've got control over, and that's buy Bitcoin. That's all I kind of do, right? So that's my thing. So what about your week? How's your week been, Garth?
Not much has been happening. I don't think it's been pretty quick. There's not really much going on in, I don't know, Australia at the moment. The only sort of thing, I mean, there's some politics going on in New South Wales. I think I mentioned that last week. They had a I think Labor got in. It was like a state-based thing. There's been some flooding, I think, in Sydney, and a few things like that going on. But one of the biggest articles that I saw come out was ANZ is starting the way of making their branches have no cash. So it's sort of like basically since COVID, there's a lot of branch closures, and what they're doing now is they're trying to actually make it. This is ANZ specifically. They're not going to hold cash. So when you go to get cash, they're not going to give you cash. That's what they actually openly announced. And it's possible the other banks will follow. And they'll say that it's because, less and less people are using cash. It costs too much money for cash, whatever the reason. But ANZ basically have went and said this. And I wouldn't be surprised if the other banks follow. So it'll be very difficult to, go to the bank and say, I want, $10,000 cash out. They'll do bank transfers or something like that. But it'll be very difficult to get the cash. And that's what's sort of happening. So that was sort of the biggest thing I saw this week. And obviously there's a few things in crypto, but it was pretty quiet compared to like last week. We covered a lot of stuff last week.
Yeah, no, here it's been pretty hot. Last couple of days been really hot, and I've been watering my plants. I've got a couple little crops growing, so obviously that's now legal, so I can legally do it. And I'm just having a bit of a play with them. Bought these 3 plants from down the road actually. Went down the road to get buy some stuff near the 7-Eleven. There's a guy there selling. He's got like a little coffee stand, and here in Thailand it's pretty big. It's like the first business anyone opens up is like a coffee. It's like a coffee stand, and they just, not a lot of money to invest, but it's a good little business because people always have coffees. They either have an iced coffee, which is the most popular. So it's really, really, really quick and easy to start a little coffee business. And they're everywhere in Thailand. Me and my missus were driving along, and we'll joke and go, "Oh, look, there's a coffee thing," and then 15 minutes up the road, there's another one up cross road, and there's another one. So they're everywhere. And yeah, you can make good money from them if you have a good little spot and it's nice and very a lot of traffic. So anyway, he's got his little coffee thing. So I went up there and got a nice coffee, which cost me a whole 30 baht, which is about $1. So I enjoyed my iced coffee, nice and refreshing. And then he had a couple of plants. So I picked up a couple of plants, 3 plants for 100 baht. So now I'm growing those, and I water them every day because it's very hot. So, just a couple of things there that I thought I'd share with you. Although, probably meaningless, but, you go about your day. So a lot of the stuff that, look, I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing in crypto, because, you guys will be getting emails. I still get the emails through the audio platforms, hey, we're launching this, we're launching that. Even the old platforms. I think I got an email from Doc. You probably got an email from Doc. It's good to see they're still around. And a couple of other NFT ones still email me, so they're still around. I just wanted to do a follow-up on Canafox. So Canafox is that one, a bit touch and go at the moment because of the laws in Thailand. There's actually elections in May, and the bill for one, it didn't go through. So the cannabis bill, and Canafox being NFT, you buy the NFT and then you get the royalties from the grow. They are doing a payout actually in they said mid to late April, so probably a couple of weeks. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, again, pretty touch and go. The next NFT round, there's 700 now. So I picked my one for 350, but there's 700 for the next. But again, I don't know if I'd go into it because of the legislation hasn't been won't even go through for probably another 6 months because of the new election, and then once the election's got to go through, then they've all got to, you know, negotiate on the cannabis bill to push it through or not, to see whether it's legally going to stay legal in Thailand or not. So this will affect CannaFox, but again, I don't see them banning cannabis. The genie's out of the box. Just I guess what laws will govern that. So I'll let you know. It'll be very interesting. Like I said, I only got into one. Only got one NFT just to have a bit of a splash and just to see how it goes because I like the project. And I'll tell you how much I get with my royalties with that. But if it's I got no idea. But apparently they got apparently I was listening to the last webinar and they were saying that their demand is 300 kilos of cannabis. That's basically what their distribution network through the people that they sell to, as well as they're opening up their own dispensaries. So when they open up their own dispensaries, this is going to be massive because it's basically they were going to sell the cannabis for 200 baht a gram. But if they open their own dispensary, they can sell it for like 600 baht a gram. So basically, they can triple their money. But basically, they've only got like 100 kilos every grow, and that's all they've basically. I don't know. I think it's a bit less than that, and they've got demand for 300 kilos. So they're way under what they can supply. So they need to. So what they're basically doing is trying to build as fast as they can, build more containers where they grow the plants in. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. So I thought I'd just give you a quick update on that. Again, I'm not saying jump in it. I'm just saying I would probably hold off. But if the cannabis bill does go through and it all gets ticked off and T's get crossed, I's get dotted, it could be a really good project long term. So I'll stay tuned for that one. The market, I would just say like Bitcoin's doing well. It's like 28.4, and it's up and down. It's up and down, but I really don't see Bitcoin going down to 15K anymore. Maybe it might go to 20, but I don't see it going to 15 or 10, even 10K. I just personally don't see it doing that. And I don't know where it's going to go in the next 3 months. Could it further up? Could it push through 30K, 40, 50, or could it go back down to 20? I don't think anyone knows, but I think that 15K Bitcoin's done. I just don't see it. I'd love to see it because I'd buy more, but I mean, I just don't see it. Anyway, Dogecoin's up, which is very interesting. It's up 10% for the week, which is good for people that are into mining. You can mine Dogecoin and Litecoin at the same time. And I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about the Litecoin a couple of weeks ago, probably about 2 webinars ago. Talked about Litecoin. So Litecoin's there's a halving coming up apparently. I think it's mid-year. I'm not sure. I'll have to Google it, but they're talking about the next halving. So it's getting up towards $100, which is good to see, because then a lot of this stuff with the mining and stuff, that's an industry that's really fallen on the wayside with GPUs. A lot of the people were mining GPUs. And that's just not profitable anymore. That's basically wiped out all the people that invested millions of dollars in in the GPU market. So now gamers are like they can get access to GPUs, and don't have to cry about not getting access to any GPUs because crypto miners are buying up all the GPUs. So, I think once we see Litecoin go back up to 150, 200, a lot of this difficulty go back up. People start turning on the machines again because it's going to be profitable again. So that's like I'm pretty bullish. I've always been bullish on Litecoin, Solana, Polygon, and BUSD, BNB, Bitcoin, obviously, Ethereum. These are like my go-to bread and butter. You know, wake up in the morning, bowl of cereal, milk. That's kind of like what I do. And these other ones, lower tier L1s. Stella's making a move. Yeah, that's 21% for the week. So these layer ones, you can't really go wrong with them. Like they can't really screw up. Aptos is up, mooned. But I mean, so if you want to play it safe, just get into the layer ones. And we're talking about Arbitrum that mooned, and then people dump their coins. But that could be, we'll see what happens with that one. That's the latest one. Layer 2, that's kind of a lot of people talking about. It could be just hype, but we'll see what happens. So that's what I do. That's kind of like what I do. I haven't been getting into a lot of these new projects, to be honest, is because I simply just don't trust them. I simply don't trust the teams, and I don't trust them long term. And that's probably the main thing that I look at. If I'm going to get into something, I look at it and I ask my questions. Basically, I ask my question. The question I ask is this: is it long term? And if it's not, don't even bother. I've been eliminating probably 99% of the stuff because that's the first question. If you just ask that question yourself, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying that's what I do. I look at it. Yeah, latest thing, NFT, shitcoin, metaverse. Is it long term? Nah, don't even bother with it. Okay, I know I'm being pretty harsh, but I only want to do long term stuff now. And I think it's going to save a lot of money short term, because if I get into the stuff that we got into last year, a lot of the stuff is just burnt, is gone, never went anywhere. A lot of these shitcoin metaverse projects, play to earn, games. Where is it all now? It's just not going anywhere. It never went anywhere. It was just a money grab. So I think that for me personally, if I just really kind of just ask myself, that's the first thing, ask myself that question, and it just saves me a lot of time and headache, and saves me a lot of money long term. Is it long term? No. Then don't even bother. I just rather put my money into what I just talked about, all the layer ones, because I know they're long term. They're going to be around in 5 years' time. That's what I want to invest in. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to see the returns that I see with these shit coins and all these other ones that can 20 or 30, 40x short term, but it's highly risky, and it's like we went through this exercise the last couple of years to pick one of those and get them. Yeah, you can, but it's difficult, and you're only going to hit probably one in 100 anyway. But you're gonna have to churn and burn and go through all the numbers, lose a whole bunch of money through the process to get your one winner, and then hopefully make it all back plus some. That was a strategy that we kind of did with the play to earn. When we did the play, and that was fun. Don't get me wrong, that stuff was fun. We got into the play to earns, the oh god, I can't remember the names. Crypto Blades and B-Ball, I can't remember what that name is. There was tons of them. We had a lot of fun with them, and they're gone. They're gone. So, that's the way I look at it. I go, it's gonna be long term. No, it's not gonna be long term. Don't bother. Put into something in the long term, because I can still do like we can still do like 10x on these layer ones. And that, mind you, that's probably going to take 3 to 4 years. But think about it. Where if you're going to buy a house, is that going to 10x in 3 or 4 years or maybe 5 years? You'd be lucky to make any money on it in 3 to 5 years on a house. By the time you pay, all the taxes and the market swings, and maybe you might get into the cycle where you've got into it, at the bottom and then you curve up. Every 7 years, you might be able to double your money. Double your money. We're talking 10x your money. You can't do that in traditional assets. So that's the way I look at it. I think, what, I'm fine. I don't mind hanging around for 3 to 5 years and put some money into something that I know it's going to be long term. That can give me even a 10x is really good returns. It's fantastic returns. It's crazy returns. And do that with multiple layer ones, which I know are going to be around. And obviously, I still got my Bitcoin, my Ethereum. I'm thinking to my head, I've got to stop doing this crazy shit, and I got to start looking at something more long term, and I've got to look at just something that's sensible and practical. And I understand it's not going to be the stuff that we did in the past, which we had fun with, the shit coins, and they would moon, and we'd sell our IDOs, and it was great those times. It was fantastic, but it's just way too risky in my opinion. But I'll still look at stuff, but I'm not saying I'm just closed to everything, but I'm just saying that when I see stuff come up, that's the first question I ask myself. And don't just follow me because it's going to pretty much eliminate 99.9% of anything. And I'll miss opportunities. Okay. And I'll put my hand up to that. But you know what? I'm fine with it. So don't just because I said, ask yourself that question, is it long term? And the answer is obviously going to be no, because 99% of that stuff is no. It's simply no. And but don't just because I'm doing it, don't just you do it. You can just have another process of trying to figure it out. But all the stuff that we've done for the last couple of years of crypto, I'm not done with it. I'm just sick and tired of going to these projects that promise so much and deliver nothing. They don't build anything. They just give you horse shit, and then they just oh, you know what? They make something up, and then the project just dies. The coin dumps. You lose your money. And that's unfortunate. So that's the way I filter it now. If it's long term, it's a long term. Nah, okay, then move on. It's that simple. And you've wasted. What have you wasted? Probably 10 seconds. Not even that. Me, I've wasted 2 seconds because I can just boom. No, that's it. Move on. Next one. So not only for me, it's saving me time. I'm not stressed, and I'm going to miss out on opportunities. Yes, I understand that, but also long term, I think I'm going to gain. So I thought I'd just share that with you. And again, I'm not always right, so you guys have your own sort of process on how you want to go about it. Oliver says, "Happy Sunday, fellas." Hey, Oliver. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, we're still here. Doing our thing. So thanks for chiming in. Monarch says, "Would you say Illuvium is play to earn? Maybe worth the risk. I'm trying to find the next Axie Infinity." Well, you know what? I would say first thing to do is stop watching YouTubers that promote play to earn. Second of all, Illuvium, it looks like a good game because it's got really good graphics and it's got heaps of people behind it to grow it long term. But Axie Infinity was very special, and kind of missed that opportunity. Even though I was complaining to myself, I'm not buying these 3 things for $60. I was an idiot. Live and learn. But there's never going to be another Axie Infinity. It's gone. Okay, those, in my opinion, play to earn games. There's never going to be another Axie Infinity because Axie Infinity was the biggest and it set the bar. And guess what happened? Yes, it failed, or there was this hack. So what does that tell you? Anything afterwards? I don't have confidence in it personally. So that's why I just it's like something that comes along that changes everything, and then everyone just copies, and then there's never anything that will supersede the first one. Like, when we saw the things with what was that one that was
Olympus DAO.
Olympus DAO, and then there was a couple other ones.
About 800 copies of it.
There's never going to be one, but there's going to be people that will try to copy it. It's like Accent Identity first came; it was just like, well, it blew everyone away. But there's never been anyone that's trying to supersede that, in my opinion. So, Illuvium, good long-term team and everything, and great graphics and stuff, and potentially, but no, I just don't think it's not worth the risk. I'll give you an idea, okay? I play this game. It's called Squad. All right, it's not. You've got to pay $60 to play it, right? It's got thousands, if not millions, of players, right? They all paid to play the game. They're not playing the game to get paid. No, they paid to play the game. It's 15 years old, right? And till this day, it's still one of the biggest games online. Thousands, hundreds, all people all over the world play it. And they just did this new update, which was, they do these updates like every month. And they're like new shit. It's like USA versus freaking Russia or China. It's first player conventional war, like real war. And, like it's a really good game if you're into games.
First-person shooters.
First-person shooters, okay? It's like as real as you can get, right? Anyway, people pay to play that game. No, they don't. It's not the other way. And that's 15 years old, and it's still going. So I just don't see the play-to-earn industry as big as people will make out to be. If you look at the gaming industry itself, then you look at the play-to-earn industry, it's laughable. It's so laughable. The actual gaming industry, the real, when you see those guys and they get out there and have tournaments, and there's millions of people, they all get together, and they get together in this freaking stadium, and then they fight teams to see the best player in the world for Squad or Player Underground, Player Underground Player. I can't remember that game. Then there's that other one. What's that stupid one they play on TikTok?
Among Us.
There's another one too. I can't remember what it's called. It's massive. But yeah, those games are massive. It's play to earn crypto games are a laugh. They're a joke. That's just my opinion compared to real gaming, because I've been gaming for years. Okay, used to play Counter-Strike. That was my thing. When I was 21 years old, I'm now 49 years old. I used to go to work. I used to work at a transport company, and this is literally what I would do. I did this probably. Okay, I can't admit. I'll admit this. I probably did this maybe twice. I literally would come home after working, because I'd start at work at like 6 a.m, and then I'd work till 6 p.m. So it was 12 hours a day. So it was good money back then. I think, can't remember what the rate was, but I was probably pulling in $900 a week. This was going back 20 years ago. So that was good money back then. I would, anyway, I'd come home after a long day at work, and I'd sit down. The first thing I do to come home is bang, straight on a Counter-Strike, first-person shooter, right? Get on there. I still had my clothes and everything, right? And then I'd have a beer, and I'd be like, I'd pick up a I can't remember, kebab or something, and I'd be sitting there drinking, eating, and I'd be playing the game. 3 o'clock in the morning, still playing. right? I had to get up at 6. I had to get up at 5 to go to work at 6. Then you know what I'd do? I'd just fall asleep like this. And you know what I did? I had like 2 hours sleep, and no word of a lie. You know what I do? I'd wake up because I had an alarm on and go, oh fuck, I gotta go to work in fucking 5 minutes because I had to be at work. Because one thing I did was go around work. I was on time. And then I was just like, oh, I still had my clothes on, right? That I still had. And then I just fucking, okay, let's go. I put them in, you know what I mean? I still had the same clothes on, but because my uniform was, the uniform was, you couldn't tell it was creaseless. You know those shirts that they crease? Yeah. They couldn't tell. So I just go straight to work, and then I'd repeat the same thing. I wouldn't do it every day because I needed to have a shower. But that's literally what it, because that's how much I was so absorbed in playing the game. Because you've been playing it before, Garth. You know, you're playing the game, and like you're sitting there, and 4 hours just like seems like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, you get right into it. So
they're the games that are doing really well. I mean, there is a lot of games that are doing well. I wouldn't say play to earn, but if you go to DeFi Llama and have a look at like we've talked about this a few times now, but if you go to DeFi Llama and then you check out the listings, you know, upcoming, or basically how much money companies have raised, and you'll see there's a lot of gaming companies in the space which have received a lot of money. Now, those ones, they're going to be producing a product. Whether or not, you know, it goes off is a different story, but at least they've got money for the developers to actually deliver a game. So those would be ones to look at if you wanted to get into gaming. But I really think play to earn is done and dusted.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still think it has its place, and but like I'm talking like long term that no game has lasted. Like even Axie Infinity only lasted like really probably a year and a half. It really only went solid for about a year, and then until it crashed. Because it's the problem with those games is because they're linked to a coin, and then they pay out in the coin. So obviously they crash because once people earn the money, then they cash out in the coins, and then the price of the coin crashes, and they try to do some funky stuff, but it never brings back the price of the coin back up. That's the problem with the play to earn games, is that incentive to play is the downfall of the project, because everyone dumps. It's a race. It's a race to see who can get the most before it dumps. And when you bought and you've invested thousands in a NFT, you're in big trouble. And that's exactly what happened with a lot of these games. So short term, maybe. So to answer your question, Mark, probably short term, because they have got quite a few people working on this thing, Illuvium. But long term, very risky in my opinion. You also asked, is a good time to invest in AVAX? I'd say probably AVAX is probably one of my lower tier ones. I actually don't mind AVAX. I think it's way better than Phantom, where Phantom's just crap. AVAX I like because it's fast, it's cheap. Maybe because there's not as many people on AVAX, but I never had any issues with AVAX. Every time I used it, it just just works seamlessly. So obviously there's not as many people on the network, but if you look at AVAX, I think it's a good solid layer 2 that you can hold. Don't hold it as long as Bitcoin. Just hold it like shorter term. So, with Bitcoin, I just hold it till you die. Basically, I'll just hold it until you're ready to retire. Most of us are in our late 40s to 50s, so we've probably got maybe 10 years, 15 years before we retire. You can hold Bitcoin for another 15 years if you want. It's still, in my opinion, going to be around. It's going to be worth a shitload. But I don't know about AVAX. So maybe, because the market cap, well, according to CoinGecko, here it's got maximum supply 720 million, total supply 422 million, circulating supply for 225 million. So 3/4 of basically the total supply. The maximum supply, probably that would probably be the either what hasn't been mined, not mined, what hasn't been what do you call created, or it's getting held somewhere or something. It's not out yet. But yeah, I mean, it's got a 5 billion market cap, so probably. Well, let's look at the. Yeah, if we look at the price, it's down 87%. It went to $144.96. So, in my opinion, I mean, not financial advice, I've got to say that, but $17, I think it's a good buy now simply because of where we are in the market. We're getting ready for a bull run, okay? And now it's only $17. So if we hit all-time highs again of Bitcoin of 69K, whenever that happens, it's got a good chance that it's going to hit over $100, 150, right? So now it's $17. So you're probably looking at a 5x. Now, 5x doesn't sound too sexy, but where can you 5x that in traditional investing? Gold. You can't do it in gold. So I would say AVAX would probably be a good one to like a good secondary one. It's going to do better. It's going to do better than Bitcoin, as in ROI. Like Bitcoin's not going to for it to do like get to $1 million. It's going to take a long time. With AVAX, it can do a nice 5x, potentially the next bull run. So the next bull run, you're looking at Bitcoin will probably double. We're at 28K now, 30K, double, sort of 60-ish, 70K. Probably Bitcoin, you're probably only looking at the maximum at that point if it hits all-time high again of double and a bit. Okay, so from where we are now. Whereas that's the difference. If this hits all-time highs, because it's a lower and a smaller market cap, the numbers are smaller on their end. When the price of Bitcoin goes back up, all these other Litecoin, Solana, AVAX, Polygon, NEAR, all these smaller layer ones will pump harder, and they'll actually ROI better than Bitcoin simply because they're just smaller. They're smaller projects, smaller market cap. So that's the difference, if that makes sense. So probably could be better short term because of exactly what I said. Does that make sense? What do you think, Garth? Is that something that's accurate?
Totally agree. I can share my screen, show a chart what we're talking about. You can see it on the screen now.
Yep.
So this is AVAX, right? So you can see how, since it came out, we had massive run up to its peak there, right? So we just put some. I always like to put fib retracements on. So from the top down to the bottom where we are here. So if you have a look at this, generally you get these retracements back to at least 618, right? So this is the area between 618 and 786. So it's quite possible for this to go in the next bull run from $17 back into the $100 to $110 range. Anyone that's been accumulating here, because there's been plenty of time, you've had since June, May last year, right? Nearly 12 months of accumulation that people could be buying in this project. And then, when it gets back up to around about this value, you'll see a lot of selling going on because they're going to go from $17 to about $110, $120. Now, it could still go more than that, but this is just a simple little fib retracement. So yeah, there's potential there between 17 and 100 at least for the next bull run for sure.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I was alluding to. A shorter term play with a relatively larger market cap. 5 billion is pretty large. It's pretty stable. It's been around for a long time. I don't know exactly, probably 4 years, 5 years. I don't know. It's pretty well known. It's on pretty much all the exchanges, but it's just not a big dog. It's a little dog. You know what I mean? So it's got a lot of potential to do, and it will ROI. The ROI on our AVAX on these smaller layer ones will be better than Bitcoin. So I talk about Bitcoin a lot, but then again, I'm like, well, what would I do? Well, you could put it in AVAX and then sell it and then put it in Bitcoin because, I always think about it long term. So that could be a play. Alex says, do you want to say something about airdrop or potential perpetual DEX like Vela Exchange? To be honest, I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Is that
we can
like
have a
the
look at it.
same coin, Vela?
VELA, or I think DXP, is that the one he's written down?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah,
DXP.
Vela Exchange. Yeah, must be it.
I'm just having a quick look now. Looks like they've. It used to be Dex Pools. Remember Dex Pools? It has rebranded to Valor Exchange. So same DXP. Yeah, I remember Dex Pools. Just having a quick look at the quick chart.
You might know more on that one.
I think, yeah, it literally went from 20 cents to $5. No, sorry, September last. I'll show you my screen because I've got it on the screen here. So I don't know.
Has that got anything to do with Vela, that IDO people? Do you know?
I don't know. I'll have a look. Could do. Where are we at? Let me find it. Yeah, so I don't know. I think you missed the boat if you were looking to make some money on it, to be honest. This is the problem. So this whole time, it was 10 cents, 6 cents, 5 cents last year. Now it's $4. So I don't know. I think you missed it. You know what I mean? Like that's what you gotta look at. Yeah, is this going to keep going up? I don't know. It's went up from 4 cents to $4. So that's like 100x.
100x.
So I think, look, no, you missed the boat on it. It's a lot more risk to buy into things that are all-time highs. I think what was it, $7.84, which was only about a month ago. So yeah, unless they got something going on, I haven't really looked at the page in a while. Yeah, so obviously it's a decentralized exchange running perpetual, which just means you can basically go short and long on different coins. So yeah, look, they'll make money. They've probably got a lot of investors behind them. Oh, there you go. Jade Protocol's invested in them. That's interesting. Yeah, so look, they might be around, but if you're looking for buying it to get 100x or 10x, I'm not sure if that's going to be there with what we just saw. I think it's already missed it. So it depends on what you're after, but I don't think we're going to see too much more going on with that, because I'd say this is because they're rebranding and they got the new exchange. This would have been people buying into it. And now people would have been selling with all the good things happening to the project. That's what would be going on. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back all the way back down to under $1.
Yeah, I would say I don't really know too much about it. I would say that to get to big numbers above this now, It's going to need a lot of time. I mean, the supply and it's not that big, to be honest. It's like 7 million at the moment or something, but the the maximum's 100 million. But these exchanges, they're a different. They're a different kettle of fish. Um, even with Binance, with its burns, prices really hasn't moved. Burns don't really do a lot in the sense of moving the price. It just kind of artificially changes the digits on a screen from X amount of supply to this amount of supply, and it's really more sentiment and more people thinking, hey, you know what, there's less supply out there, so it must be worth more, so I'll buy more, and that kind of just puts pressure on the people buying it, putting the price up. But yeah, so I don't know. I just maybe long term, if you believe in it and want to hang around and look at it, but certainly I don't know if it's like Gar said, it's already done 100x. Best time would have got into it was probably like 4 cents. Obviously, you'd be sitting on a yacht by now if you put in 100 grand in that. Back then, or even just $1,000, you would have 100x. Holy crap! So maybe keep an eye on it, Anik, and yeah, let us know how it goes with that one, mate. So thanks for asking. Monarch says thanks so much analysis. Yeah, I just try to be practical with that. I hope that made sense because that kind of alludes to what I was saying before. Like I would rather look at something more long term and put my money into that than some shady play to earn game or some move to earn that's never going to do anything. It's just going to take your money. I'd rather put it into something like AVAX or Next or even Eagle rebranded. These layer ones, there's a lot of these new layer ones and layer twos that have popped up, maybe even Arbitrum, that, in my opinion, are a lot less riskier and could do well in the next 2 or 3 years. And I don't mind waiting. They're going to do airdrop like DYDX. Okay. So, yeah, I'd probably have to obviously use the exchange. Bit like Optimism and people like Arbitrum. People got massive airdrops from using it, being early adopters. So, yeah, if you're into, I'm personally not into any trading or any futures trading, definitely perpetual trading. That's like lighting a fire to your money. Hey, let's go. That's just my opinion, okay? I mean, I'm not, that's just my opinion. Burn your money up. Woohoo. But anyway, obviously there's a lot of people out there that are into that stuff, which is great. And it says, I'm not going to buy coin, but making trading volume for airdrop. Okay, cool. So yeah, that might be something that you might want to do and to get that airdrop. Look, there's a lot of airdrops at the moment, and I'll show you a place to find out where they are. I'm pretty sure, I saw this the other day. CoinGecko airdrops. I'm pretty sure it's a category. CoinGecko airdrops. I think it was CoinGecko. I'm positive. Okay, maybe there's just an article on it. But you can go and have a look at CoinGecko because they actually do a lot of good information as well. To be honest, it's not just not just a place to go and find out the price of Bitcoin. Top 11 airdrops coming. Look out for in 2023, and this is on CoinGecko. So we'll post it into the airdrop section in our Discord. But you can have a look at it, and it's got the some really good information. CoinGecko, every quarter they have a newsletter, so sign up to their thing. They have obviously a team of people that put together crypto stuff, and then they send you like a book or like I don't know what it is. It's like a PDF with all the latest stuff every quarter or so. So you subscribe to their newsletter or whatever they're doing. But yeah, there was a lot of talk about ZK Sync and Arbitrum. Sui, I've done that about 6 months ago. So hopefully I qualify for that. Who even knows when that's coming out? So have a look at this article, and then you can check out the airdrops. I've spoken about a couple of these already, done videos on them already, to then just interact with the testnet and a lot of this stuff that's still in development. You sort of tinker around, play around with their stuff early. Even Zeta Chain, remember I talked about that. You can be eligible for it, and then if you're eligible, you might be able to get a couple $100 or a couple of thousand, just like our little friend that was using what was it? Uniswap. Remember that guy that used Uniswap, and he got the Uniswap airdrop because he used the original Uniswap, and then he got like $500,000 in Uniswap in Uni tokens airdrop to his wallet. I mean, how would you feel? Like, you go on your computer, the next day you see $500,000 worth of Uni, and back then I think it mooned at 8 cents, $8 or something, then it dropped back down to $4. But how would you feel? Like you're like, oh, okay, there's like $500,000. Not bad, not a bad day.
That's right. You'd be very happy.
Those airdrops, they do work if you're into those sort of platforms and really are an early adopter on them. So I'll just post that link in the Discord and stuff as well. So that's good to see your questions, guys. Again, you guys can do your ask your questions because we're here. Anik says, and what do you have to say about TrustPad? I have made good money on Blocktopia based off the ABC buying. Yeah, look, so did I. We all made good money with TrustPad. We all made good money with the first Blocktopia release. Then the rest of them were just like shit. But we managed to do well. I remember that one, that Blocktopia one, hyped up to the max. A bit boyfriend that pumped that thing to the moon. Yes, we did do well in TrustPad and a lot of those IDOs. Problem is this: that was a year ago. Like, again, I'll have to look at the stats, and we were doing these things like on a daily.
I've got the stats on the screen if you want to share the screen, and you can talk about it.
Yeah, we're doing these on a daily, so and you remember these.
Yeah. So I don't know if TrustPad's in this list. TrustSwap. Oh yeah, TrustPad. Yeah. There you go. So what that chart you're seeing there is the average return since the IDO by Launchpad. So TrustPad's about halfway down. So if you invested in TrustPad, minus 56% with all the that's the average return. But have a look at the one that is strong as. Can you read that one? DAO Maker.
Yeah, DAO Maker.
It's the only one making money.
There you go.
And that's recent. I posted that in yesterday, I think.
Yeah, so that's actually a good indication of things. A lot has happened with the IDO market, okay, and we did them full on a year ago, and we obviously we're all there getting into these IDOs, but that was then. That was a year ago. A lot happens in a year's time. So what happens back then is not necessarily going to give you the same returns now. And in my opinion, I just think that the whole IDO thing it's still happening, but it's not where it was before. And I just think there's just way more. It's not. You can't just go back into that market and go, oh, it's just like it was before, because it's not. It's not. And what I said earlier about things like even Axie Infinity and play to earn games. See, what happens is once they have this, it's I wouldn't say it's almost I wouldn't say maybe you could use the word trend or fad, but what happens is when it first comes along and people make a shitload of money with it, with what happened with Axie Infinity, then everyone jumped on the bandwagon, and everyone was trying to create the next Axie Infinity, and play to earn games took off because of Axie Infinity, right? And it was the same with these IDO platforms. Dowmaker is one of the long-term ones that's still going. TrustPad, and then we saw so many of these things popping up. I mean, there was that mob that was just launching these freaking stupid bloody launch pads. Yes, people were buying into them and making 100x, but then they were just ghost towns afterwards. Because what they would do, they'd bring out like T-Pad, right? They'll bring like Matic Pad, and then they'll bring out some fucking obscure fucking layer 2 pad. It's like always pad. You know what I mean? And it got ridiculous. And it was obviously just a money grab. But those IDO stuff that we did a year ago, I think it'd be a big mistake to think that you're going to get to see the type of returns that we did back then. Because why? Same thing. Those days are gone. It's no longer the thing. It's no longer the fad or the trend. We've moved on. Now, you can do it if you want, and you can get into it, and you can still probably make good money if you're lucky. But overall, the whole market in that IDO thing is down. But just what Garth just showed you, there's only like one, which is Dowmaker. It's probably the only best one. So I'm not going to like screw around with my money on things that are risky. I'm just going to be like, well, you know what? Those days were good days. We had really good times. I remember those. We'll be there at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be like selling our coins off, and just, it was so fun. It was the Discord was just going off, you know, but things change in crypto, and those things that worked back then no longer work now, in my opinion. And if you want to take the risk, go ahead. But I just think, in my opinion, I think that those days are gone with the IDO stuff. But, you know, we'll keep an eye on it, and if things do pop up, definitely share that. But it's gone. Thanks a lot for the details. Thanks. Yeah, you know, because we've been here a long time, Garth and I and everyone else as well in the Discord and the Patreon. Some of you guys have been with us for over 12 months, maybe even 18 months. I don't even know. Some of you guys have been with us as long as we've been around. That's how many people are still with us. And we've seen so much shit happening that, you know, we've been through all those play to earn, move to earn, IDOs, shitcoins, and they were great. We had so much fun with them. The shitcoin stuff. We'd analyze that stuff. We'd get on the webinars and analyze, and then we'd get into it. And next thing it was like some dog, and then it was something else. So it was all good fun, you know. And then the pink sales, Garth alluded to that a couple of weeks ago. The pink sales are still roaring, aren't they, Garth?
Yeah, they're still making money every week. I wouldn't
Someone's
say
making
get in
money.
on them. Yeah, someone's making money. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be jumping into most of those. I mean, oh my God, it's just terrible. But yeah, that's what things move pretty quick. So okay, I want to change it up. You know how you were talking about Canafox, right? Well, yeah. I've been itching to show you. While you were talking about Canafox, I created a new like motto for them, you know, like if they were a new character. It's on the screen now.
That's probably true, dude. That pretty much sums them up. Do you like it? The only thing you're missing is like this, like you've got to put something like a tie kind of thing to it, because it isn't.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was just going for the fox smoking marijuana. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I should put the whole tie thing and some marijuana plants behind the fox. Yeah, but I reckon this could be the new mascot for Canafox. So I might send it to them, see what they think.
Oh, that's so funny. Right. That's so true, though. It's
That's
true.
it. All right.
Fuck's sake.
Serious note. Let's go. What else did I had a whole bunch of things. Let me find it. Here we go. Here. There's a couple of links I wanted to quickly get in before we finish up. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS, right? That's all developing a new country, new currency. So we all got together, and this is so they're not going to be using the USD. Something to track that one. Next one. El Salvador president officially signs a bill eliminating all taxes on income, property, and capital gains for technological innovations. So this guy is like everyone's loving, the president of Salvador because he's making it such a friendly place to live. So that's very interesting. I don't know if you want to visit there, but apparently it's changed. So that was good news.
Yeah, I
And
just want to say it still has one of the highest homicide rates in the world, though. But they don't talk about that.
But I saw all the videos saying that there was no homicide going on. I don't know. You'd have to go there
No,
yourself. I
dude, you
suppose.
don't, man. That's just like CNN reporting. They all like kind of like hide the fact.
Hey, here's another one. SafeMoon just got hacked for $8.9 million.
Oh, geez, really? Wow. I wonder if it was an inside
last
job or
couple of
not.
days. Oh, it would have been.
No,
What they
it would
did
never
was
be an inside job.
It's so sad. I mean, it's just a scam in total. But this is how they get their money out, right? They basically updated the latest contract. So as soon as they did that, there was an exploit in there. There was a function called public burn, and they used that code. They basically modified the function, removed the funds from the liquidity pool, sold it, and just drained the liquidity pool. And my God, it's just crazy. So I feel sorry for anyone that was in SafeMoon, but this is the problem when they change code. Think every time change code, or if it's just a dodgy project, things like this happen. What else was there? That was it.
I just want to add. I just want to add something to that. Right, you go into the SafeMoon people; they're so toxic that you go into them and say, "Gee, I wonder if that was an inside job." You'll just get flamed because there's still people in that community that will burn with the ship. They just think that the dude running it, who's a scammer, is just the most greatest guy. They look at him as like a god, and they don't believe it. They won't believe that he would not take their money or he would not try to orchestrate. Now, in my opinion, and I've looked at SafeMoon and done my bit of research on it, and the dude is dodgy as hell. So that is running it, and it's like the same dude that was running. What was that other one that did the race cars?
Like Piston?
Geez. No, not Piston. They sponsored the like F1s. It's a crypto. It was dodgy as.
There were so many of them. Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, it was pretty big actually. It wasn't as big as SafeMoon, but it was pretty big. If anyone knows, comment. But that dude was dodgy as hell as well. So, it's you can't tell people that it's like, dude, this thing's a scam from the beginning. They won't believe you. They just won't, because they're too invested into it already. No. Sorry, I just wanted to chime in there.
Yeah. No, that's cool. There was something else. Oh, that's right. You'll be excited. I think I posted this in Discord. Zen. Have a look at Zen. XEN, the one that you got into.
Yeah, I saw it. It's up like 80%.
Pumping hard, dude. It's up like a lot. You have a look at the chart. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's up. Oh, it's up 23% today. It's up. Yeah. Oh wow, it's up 200% in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so there's something must be going on with that. So that's pretty good.
I haven't looked at it since, but I've still got like 500 million Zen or something coming to me. So I don't know. It'd be good to it'd be good to see. It will definitely won't go to 1 cent, but 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got 500 million Zen coming, but I won't be able to get it till maybe another 3 or 4 months. And right now, if I was to get it, it'd be worth 1,065. That's not too bad. So we only need to do another 100x, and I'll be happy.
That's it. Hey, another one. Type in Casper. We've talked about Casper.
I'm still staking that.
Oh well, you're doing well, man. Just have a look at the chart on that one.
Okay, what's up? 30, up 10%.
Have a look at the max chart.
Oh,
I suppose we should show people what that looks like. Once you bring it up, just share a screen if you like.
I'm still down though. 4 cents.
No, not that one. Sorry, I've given you the wrong one. KASPA.
Oh, this one. 4 cents, yeah.
Click on max. On max chart.
Holy cow.
That's 100x there for sure, yeah.
Holy shit, look at that. What the hell? 1 cent. It's gone to 4 cents. So, yeah, if you bought it back in July the 22nd last year, mid last year, it was 0.030 So you would have, I don't know, 10x, 100, no, I don't know, 100x. Yeah, you would have 100x. Yeah, you're right. 100x.
Now, what's interesting. It uses a block. It uses a DAG as its blockchain. So you remember, like, there's a few that use those DAGs, like for the digital ledger, rather than how Bitcoin works. They used a DAG. Like, there's a few other ones that were big that used DAGs, but Casper was the first block DAG, which meant that it was very fast. I think it was 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, block time was 1 second on it, so it's pretty fast, and they did a wallet as well. So yeah, they're obviously coming along. And that one, what's interesting about Casper is this whole time it has mining. It's a proof of work. So the whole time people have been mining this. So that's very interesting.
Yeah,
so they'd be pretty happy with that now.
Block algorithms, KE heavy. I wonder what miner though. I'm just trying to find the miner.
Scroll down, all the miners listed.
Okay. See, so this thing had become profitable now because of the miners, because of the price.
Somewhere on that page. Maybe it was on the mining page. Click on the mining page up the top there in the menu.
That's interesting. Mining. I wonder what mining machine it is.
Yeah, they got them listed on the page, and also they got software that tells you profitability calculator.
Yeah, well, that's the software that runs the LOL miner. These are all kind of standard kind of. You hear the miners talk about all these all the time, but I'm just trying to find the actual machine. Yeah, the actual Casper mining machine. That's
I don't know which machines they're using.
Because let's look at Casper.
Yep.
Yeah, see, there's no what is it, block DAG? There's no actual machine. I'm trying to find the machine that actually mines it.
Okay.
Nothing. If it worked, but what machine is mining it? That's what I'm trying to find out. All right, that's probably do some more research on that one. But I I did see a lot of YouTubers pump this, like 3 months ago, 3 to 6 months ago. So obviously it's done well. Yeah, if you bought it, you got 100x your money. So yeah, look, probably missed this one, but this is what I'm like. This is, even though we don't get them all, this is like I'm talking about. Like a thing like Casper's, it's not a scam. It's like pretty solid. I mean, it's, there's serious development going on behind it. So this is like kind of like the ones that you want to get into, the more kind of like long-term legit ones with a lot of people behind it, solid devs behind it, building out their blockchain and the products and stuff. This is what I'm talking about. These are the sort of projects that we want to get into.
I just found the miner link. I've just put the link there so you can have a look at it for the mining units. I found it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. GPU. Oh, it's GPU
miners. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a GPU mining. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe it's bringing back GPU mining. So yeah, you can to mine this. You just need a GPU. You can actually do it on your laptop, or you could just hook up your own anything with a GPU. Then you just download that LOL miner, a bit of software, and then you can start mining it on your computer. Obviously, solo GPUs all linked up will give you more hash rate, and then that's how they do it. So GPU mining back again. Here it is. So that's interesting. So that's good for GPU mining anyway. But pretty much everything else has been decimated except for this GPU mining, so that's good. Yeah, keep an eye on that one as well, Casper. So that's doing well. Yeah. So anyway, probably we're into this quite a bit now. Didn't think we'd be this long, but appreciate you guys coming on and asking questions, because that's kind of like the whole point of it. And but yeah, I don't mean to scare anyone away. I'm just trying to just be more sensible about it this year, because we did. Don't get me wrong, we did have some great gains the last couple of years with the stuff we did. I'm not denying that, and we had fun. It was awesome. There's nothing like being up at 2:00 in the morning, clicking a button, and then just seeing tons of BNB or tons of Matic or tons of Ethereum come to your wallet. There's nothing that beats it. I mean, we did that many times with these IDOs and shitcoins and stuff. So it was fun, and we had a good time. But just being like practical and being like sensible about it, those things that we did back then are done. They've already done the what do you call it, technology, what do you call it,
yeah, we've done the bell curve. Yeah, that curve.
They've done the, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And it's time to move on to other things that are newer and hopefully are more long term. So I think if you just keep that in the back of your mind, try to look for things that are more long term, that are new, that we can get into, that are new, that are more long term and sustainable and longer term. Because if we can get into those things, not only will they last longer, they'll give you returns, better returns. They might take a while, but again, Casper's like one that was there June last year, and it's done 100x, and it'll continue to go up. Obviously, if you got in that back then, you'd be laughing, but there'll be more that'll come around, because we see that this is how the crypto space works, and you just got to hang around. So just keep a level head on, kind of like what we talked about tonight, and just ask yourself, you don't have to do this, but just if you want to do it, I do it every time. Is this long term? If it's no, next. I'm done. I'm not even wasting my time on it. And I'll miss a lot of opportunities. I get it. I understand that. But then also I'll save a lot of money. In my opinion, less is more, I was going to plow more into Bitcoin. I was going to plow more into Bitcoin, man. I'm just so bullish on Bitcoin and all this stuff with the banks and how everyone's just getting screwed over, and the price of cost of living just gone through the roof. People are looking new ways to invest their money, not so much traditional gold and real estate, but just into anything else that'll make them money, businesses, or now crypto is really, really attractive. And a lot of these bad actors are now getting smashed and stamped and squashed and thrown into jail. And I hope that happens more to get these people out of crypto, and then to lay the foundation longer term, because we're going to be around for a longer term. That's we're going to be around for the next 5 to 7 years. 2030, hopefully we'll still be doing this, and Bitcoin's $1 million. That's what I believe. And call me crazy, but even if we don't hit $1 million Bitcoin, it's going to be at least a couple 100,000. I truly believe that. And what is it today? 28,000. So being so kind of like just dumb it down, I know, and we're not going to see massive profits, but we could still see a potentially minimum 10x to 50x. Okay, that's minimum 10x to 50x in the next 7 years. 7 years goes like that, and that's a bloody good return, in my opinion. Nothing else is going to give you that. Not in gold, real estate, stocks. Maybe a business would give you that, but a business is very difficult to build to get to that level where you eventually sell a business and then you look for the multi-million-dollar payout. No one can build those. It's very difficult to build those 8-figure businesses. You got to be pretty smart to do it. But you can do it with crypto. You just got to get into the right ones and keep hustling. You know what I mean? So with that said, thanks everyone for coming in. I really appreciate your questions and stuff. And we keep on going forward. And I watched this before we go. I watched this show. Anyway, it's a long story. It's about this show that they do stuff on reporting on the war, right? Anyway, so there's this guy. He's their staunch West, and his name's Rocco, right? And he's Polish, and they do things. And they report on the war, obviously, and they're obviously pro-Western, okay, pro-Ukrainian, pro-United States, okay, and whether you've used that or not, or you're Russian, on the Russian side, whatever the politics, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to judge you, okay, but in the end, he always says, this is his name. That is, we rolling. I like that. That's what we're doing in crypto. We rolling. We just keep on rolling, right? Love it. Guys, stay excited, because we got good things coming in crypto. Just stay excited. All right. Well, Garth, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And thanks to you guys for asking questions. Come in every Sunday, okay? We can do this and ask away and have some fun as well. So have a good week. And we roll in. That's my new little thing now. We roll in.
Is it?
Yeah. All right, catches.
Yeah.